Hey, Patrick Enter here. Let's talk about how to improve your style, which I know for a lot of guys is kind of a touchy subject, but it doesn't need to be, because most of the time, if we're being honest, guys just want to look good, but they don't really know how to do it. And so today we're going to talk about how to efficiently maximize your style. The key word here being efficiently, right? So without wasting time and money. So we're going to keep this super short, but this is the exact 4-step transformation program system, I should say, that I've used for over 1,000 guys for nearly a decade now. This is in the trenches with working with guys one-on-one. So this isn't theory. This is stuff that actually works. So if you stick around for the next 20 minutes or so, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So the 4 things here, these 4 pillars that I'm going to show you, this is what you're going to focus on in order to improve the way that you look so drastically that, people in your life are commenting, right? So whether it's your partner, whether it's acquaintances, whether it's friends or your spouse, whatever it is, people in your life saying, hey, something's changed, or wow, like I really like what you're wearing. I really like that outfit. So, moving you forward in a way that actually makes a difference in your life rather than just getting some, cool t-shirt or something, right? Talking about changing your style at a much deeper level. And this is all without the headaches of shopping, right? Wasting money while never actually looking that good. So the truth is, you've probably actually been trying to do this before, but you've remained stuck. And you're probably feeling confused and overwhelmed, which is what a lot of guys feel when they go through this, because they don't understand what looks good on them. And so if you feel that way, this can help you. Basically, I'm going to show you how to radically transform your appearance using a very simple framework, right, that I've used with clients. You probably feel like that's impossible. And a lot of my clients have felt the exact same way until they started using the right methodology. Most people, they think about style as something that's very esoteric and kind of theory-based. And either you have it or you don't. And that's not true at all. Style is just like everything else, where if you have the right tools, if you have the right system, things become really easy. And a lot of it comes down to actually personalizing it for you. Speaking of which, I've worked one-on-one with clients in this area a lot, right? For close to a decade and over 1,000 guys at this point. Guys that have worked with plenty of celebrities who Wall Street Journal and New York Times best-selling authors, Fortune 100 CEOs and Fortune 500 CEOs and execs, TED speakers, Grammy winners, Netflix documentary and reality stars, TV personalities, all sorts of people that you'd recognize, but also a whole bunch of people that you wouldn't. And that's what I get really excited about, is just the guys like who's here, like what I'm showing you, who we've actually been able to transform their style because they just wanted to look good. They wanted to feel a better sense of self-confidence, and they wanted to streamline their style. Not only that, but these are some publications that you'll typically find our style advice in. So these are publications that will work with quite a bit to actually get them style advice. So the style magazines, we're the people that the style magazines actually reach out to, and I'm giving them advice on what to tell their readers, because this stuff works. So you can find our advice in these outlets. But again, what gets me really excited is working with guys, everyday guys, to improve the way that they look. My goal, our goal as a company, is to break down men's style into a science and streamline looking good, so that style isn't this esoteric thing that just you don't understand and kind of shape shifts and instead becomes something tangible, really turning it into a science, a learnable process that you can use. All right. So who is this for, this quick training? So it's for successful guys who are sick of wasting time and money, but want to maximize their appearance. They want to look their best, and they have the resources to do it, right? You can go out and you can buy the clothing. You just don't know what to do, right? Basically, you want to look your best, but you don't know how. All right. So most guys don't understand the stuff that you're about to learn. Shockingly, I would say 99% of guys actually don't know this stuff, and they really just spin their wheels and they never make forward progress. So they think a subscription box or binging YouTube videos or something like that is going to solve their problems. But the problem with that stuff is it's just not personalized. It's not customized to you. It's paid placement, right, in subscription boxes and YouTube videos, where they're recommending products just because they're getting a kickback on it. Same thing with shopping in stores. They're making a commission off that stuff. So it never actually is personalized to you, and it's mass marketed, right? A YouTube video that goes out to 1 million people, it's not going to make sense for all these people, right? So you have to understand what works best for you. Instead, you're looking at this stuff You waste time and money and energy just going out and trying to figure out what works, whether you're searching for certain items, you're going out in the store and just grabbing items off a shelf and hoping they work, or you're wasting your time watching style advice that either isn't accurate, was paid for, or just doesn't apply to you, and you never make forward progress. So I want to show you what to focus on to look your best. And these, again, are the frameworks that I use with clients to elevate them and to give them such deep change that, in fact, some of them have actually been written up based on their transformations in magazines. This one came from Men's Health. They actually asked to share this recommendation or this transformation, because it was so drastic. Taking a guy who never thought that he could be stylish into somebody who now is in magazines because his style is transformed in such a cool way, right? That, to me, I mean, that brings me a lot of joy and a lot of pride, but also, could you imagine that being you and the sort of sense of pride that you would feel just looking at reviews and some of the things that stick out there? Stuff like the lines that I really like here are a valuable and practical service. It's a difficult topic, or excuse me, Patrick has made a very difficult topic very accessible. Stuff like that. Theory that drives advice. Something here, taken me from a novice to a PhD. Remember that the idea here is to give you the education of what works well for you. All right. So you can read some 100 reviews around the web that will say things just like this. All right. So some more things like that. Obviously, just grazing over these, but things like taught me what the magazines and the videos missed. Skip past years of trial and error. These are the things that we're trying to get, and I'm trying to get for you. And so if you get the right systems in place, it becomes really simple. So let me show you exactly what to focus on. All right. So these are the 4 pillars of style. So this is what we're going to go through. This is the framework that I want to share with you that I work with clients on. If you know these 4 things, you're going to have an incredible closet full of stuff that you dig, and you're always going to feel well dressed. All right. So these are the 4 pillars that support this wardrobe. You can't have one without the others, right? So you need to focus your attention on all 4 of these. Most guys think, oh, I'm going to get something that fits well. Or, oh, I'm just going to, let me find a cool color. It's not going to help, right? Long term, you need an actual framework, an actual system that's going to work well for you. And then it's going to build you like this awesome house, right? It's going to hold that roof up, basically, and you're going to have a closet that you actually like, where everything just works well for you. So let's talk about what those pillars are. And then the first one's going to be color. Okay, so you need to understand what colors look good on you and why. So, by the way, we're going to dig deeper into each one of these. This is just an overview. But you need to understand color, what looks good on you, and how to pair them. You need to understand fit, so how to dress your body shape, and what sizes, fits, and brands actually work for you and your body shape. You need to understand style, which is basically how you present yourself, right? So the clothing that actually makes you feel like you. So you have a congruent appearance from head to toe. So you're not mixing and matching different styles. You have your own sort of personal style. And then you need to know execution. So actually how to implement this stuff, how to go out and shop, how to tailor things, how to put all that stuff together. Because you could have all the knowledge, but if you don't know how to execute on it, you're going to be running up against a wall. And that is the 4-pillar framework. That is exactly what you need to learn, in each one of those pillars supports your style too. If you have that in place, you're going to be good for the rest of your life. You're going to understand how to have a repeatable process where you can get stuff that looks good on you. Once you know this, it's on easy mode. I don't think about clothing a lot for myself. I think about it for clients all day, but now my closet and client's closet's on easy mode. Yeah, you're grabbing a few pieces here and there, but once you build out your closet and you understand what works for you, everything becomes easy. So every style problem that you've ever had in your life will boil down to one of those 4 things, and it can be slotted into one of those 4. So the idea basically is that if you understand them, you can fix what you're dealing with, right? You can fix any problems that you have. What we're trying to do is get everything that you own to enhance you in some way. All right, everything should look good on you. So let's dive into these a little bit deeper. We'll talk about color first. So there's a method to choosing the right colors for yourself, and it's called color analysis. It's been around for close to 100 years now, but it's the idea is that we're systematically choosing colors for you based on your natural coloring, your eyes, your skin color, your hair color, stuff like that, right? And so there are right colors for you to wear, and there are wrong colors for you to wear. And so color analysis, what that does is it shows you those, right? So what's based around your natural coloring and the colors that are going to enhance that. So if you don't know what those colors are, you're going to have a lot of trouble shopping, right? You're not going to know exactly what to get, and nothing is going to actually enhance you. more than that, they're not going to pair together either. So the idea here is you need to decipher what colors look good on you based on your unique coloring. This is what we're working through with a client. So to take it to a deeper level, you need to understand hue, value, and chroma. And if you've taken an art class before, some of this might look familiar, but this all applies to clothing as well. And so you can dig deep, and this is something that we work with clients on to get them the right colors, to get them the stuff that works for their hue, their value, and their chroma. And so you have to know those things. But more importantly, you actually have to have a set of colors that you can take and go out into a store and know that those work best for you. So if you understand hue, value, and chroma, and you understand basically what colors look good for you. So you understand this stuff, but you understand, oh yeah, these are the colors, and have a visual example, which is something that we give clients, you're set. You already know what to do. Imagine streamlining shopping to the point where you're like, look, I know 70% of these colors won't work for me. This subset of colors, these are the things that I need to shoot for. That's what we're aiming for. Fit is going to be the second thing. So with fit, you need to understand how to dress your body shape. We all have unique shapes and sizes, stuff like that. And so you need to understand how to dress your specific shape. So fit is the number one thing that can make you look and feel more attractive. And it's what a lot of guys know and understand inherently. They know like, oh yeah, okay, fit is a big deal. But you might not know how to dress your body appropriately, right? But you might understand that it is something that you need to take care of, because most guys are wearing the wrong combinations of things. You know, maybe they have something that's a little tight on the top, and maybe they have some pants that are a little loose, and maybe this item's a little too long and this one's a little too short. They have no consistency because they don't understand exactly what works well for them, and they don't understand what brands they should be looking at that will cater to their body type, or the fits that will cater to them, or the sizes that will cater to them. And so everything is just sort of haphazard. So if you don't know what your body shape is or how to dress it, the right fabrics, the fits, the sizes, the brands, you're always going to look subpar. And that's what we're trying to reverse. We're trying to nail down exactly what works well for you. So, you know, you probably are familiar with some of the basic body shapes. Some of us, though, we all have different sizes, right? Some of us are tall and lean. Some of us are more muscular and really, really built. And some of us are just a little bit heavier and have a lot of mass to us. And all these guys are going to be dressed differently, and also including height too as well. So, you know, depending on how tall you are, you're going to dress differently too. If your thighs are a little bit bigger, if you have more muscular arms, or if you have a bigger back, all of these things we take into account, right? So you have to understand how to dress your unique body. You know, and there's times where you're going to feel like, man, I just, everything I try on, it just feels baggy through the midsection, or maybe everything I put on just feels a little bit too short or too long. And there's ways to fix that. So you have to know the right sizes, the right fits, and the right brands in order to get yourself clothing that actually fits and makes your body look more attractive, because that's what we're aiming for, is color to make us look more attractive, and the fits of the clothing to look more attractive. And then obviously the style. So our personal style is sort of an extension of us. So you need to decipher what that is. You need to understand the types of clothing that we're going to fill the closet with. Stuff that actually feels like you. Because most guys, they haphazardly choose stuff where, you know, they just add it in based on what the guy at the store said is cool, or what their girlfriend thinks, or, you know, just something that they happen to get, maybe a gift from grandma, right? And they just add it in the closet, and the whole thing looks like a jumbled mess because they haven't actually systematically chosen a style that is going to be congruent, right? They just haphazardly choose items. And so worse than this, they're not going to actually feel like themselves. You know, maybe you felt like this clothing that I have on, it feels like I'm wearing a costume. If you've ever felt like that, you need to nail down your personal style, right? So we need to get clothing that's an extension of you. So working from the inside and then putting it outside. Real quick, I want to extend this concept to interior design. So take a look at these two photos here. You're going to see up here we have a living room that's designed in mid-century modern, and then down here to the right you're going to see one that is designed in what they call farmhouse. Now neither of these styles are wrong, but what would be wrong is when we mix these two things together and take this chair over here and this coffee table and try to put it here. Most guys are doing this with their clothing. They're smashing everything together, and they don't understand why it doesn't look good. They would never do this with their living room and their furniture, but they would do it with their clothing. And again, they come back and they're like, I don't understand why this doesn't look good. It's because these styles don't pair. So first, you choose the style that is congruent with who you are, to where it feels comfortable and you love all the clothing. And then we repeat that process so all the clothing then pairs together. So just keep in mind that there are many ways to be well dressed, and everyone has their own personal style, but you need to understand yours and then get the clothing that supports that. So if you don't have a guiding North Star right now, if you don't know what that style is, you need to figure that out. What clothing makes you feel like you, where you're like, yeah, man, I feel good. I feel confident. Like this feels good. Because some guys, they just put on something that like their wife likes or what the guy said at the store and they're like, okay, I guess. And then it just sits there. It sits in your closet. You're like, man, I don't like this. I don't like this. Because it's not you, it's somebody else. And so the idea is that if you don't have that, somebody else is likely choosing your style for you, whether it's a partner, a friend, a YouTuber, the guy at the store, whatever it is. Or even worse, you're taking recommendations from everybody. And then all of that stuff you're getting. And the problem there is that none of it's going to pair together. So you need to understand what your style is and then put that into your closet, right? And systematically go after items that support it. The goal is to not wear trends. The goal is to wear clothing that reflects who you are. That, again, we take the internal and we put it external. This creates consistency. So with the interior design thing, it creates consistency like in the room, creates consistency in your closet. Streamlines where you shop. Certain brands are only going to produce certain types of clothing, right? So a brand isn't going to produce rugged rock and roll stuff and then preppy stuff the next day. It's going to create, the brands have a specific theme and a target customer and a very streamlined aesthetic that they are shooting for. So that cuts down shopping because you're just going to shop at the brands that match your personal style. And then it ensures that everything in your closet actually pairs together. So you never really have to think about it because just like the interior design thing, everything in the room makes sense together rather than, man, this is all just kind of thrown together and nothing here works. These two guys wouldn't wear each other's clothing. To use our example from before, we have a preppier kind of guy on the right or left, and then we have more of the rugged rock and roll stuff to the right. Imagine trying to smash those clothing items together. Just wouldn't really make sense, right? Just like we talked about in the interior design thing. So you have to know the right styles, you have to know the right items to buy, and the brands that support that. So know your personal style, kind of like you know yourself, and then we get the items to support that, and we get the items from the right brands. Simple as that. Execution is going to be your fourth and final pillar. So execution is once you know all this stuff, once you have the knowledge, once you know it works for you from a color, fit, and style perspective, it's time to execute. You got to pull the trigger on some of these items. You got to get out there and get the stuff. And so you could have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't know how to implement it, if you don't know how to execute, you're always going to be running into a wall. And so you need to know how to source the clothing and shop efficiently, right? You've probably been into a store where you're walking around, you don't understand things, you don't understand, you don't know where to go, stuff like that. So you don't understand what to buy, you don't understand where to buy it. It's like, dude, I don't even know what stores to walk into. You don't even know how to tailor it if you need to, right? Because if you're not tailoring some of your items, that's a room for a lot of improvement there. If the further that you get outside of the balance of like what a normal human body is like, if you're more muscular, if you're taller, if you're shorter, you're going to need to tailor some of your items. And so you're going to need to know how to do that and what to tell a tailor, what to look out for. So this is execution, is getting and dialing in all those things that we talked about previously, the style, the fit, the color. So if you feel overwhelmed when you're shopping, it's an execution problem because you don't have a plan. And so, you need to fix that. Stylish guys know how to navigate stores. They understand that stores are not something to be feared, but in fact, a gold mine. If you've ever been to a grocery store without a list, you might kind of think about this the same way that you would think about clothing. Imagine just grabbing stuff off a shelf and throwing it in the cart. Like, I'm going to get some oatmeal and then maybe I'm going to grab some Tabasco, and maybe a little bit of lemon to go on top of that. It's like it doesn't make sense together and you had no plan. But if you have a recipe and a list, you understand exactly what you're shooting for. So stylish guys know how to navigate stores. They know how to navigate the execution side of things. And stores become awesome experiences rather than terrifying experiences or frustrating ones because they know exactly what they're looking for. They know that stores hold the gold to them looking good. So it becomes much more fun. So you need to understand how to move forward based on what looks best for you by having a plan of action. So one of my favorite things a client once told me was it's like a targeted missile strike. Shopping for men is not a fun experience, and it never is going to be, right? Women have all sorts of fun when they shop, and the experience is much better for them. Their dressing rooms are better, they get better customer service, they have more options. Shopping for men just isn't a great experience, and it's not something that we enjoy. I do it for a living, and I have for almost a decade. Not something I enjoy. What we have to think about is the end result. What I enjoy is the end result. So you think about shopping like a targeted missile strike. where you go in, you get exactly what you need, and you get the heck out, right? So execution comes down to this. You need to know what to remove from your closet. What isn't working? Pull the weeds, right? You need to know what to add in. So how do we go about shopping? What are the items that we're going to go and actually source? We need to know where to get it. So you need to think, okay, well, what stores and brands am I going to look at for these items? You need to know how to tailor it once you get it, if the item needs some adjustment, and what to tell your tailor. And then you need to know how to maintain it for the long run. So you're not always repeating this process, but also that all your clothing looks good every time that you put it on and it doesn't look worn or faded. So what to add in, what to tailor, how to shop, where to shop, and how to care for it. That is execution. So again, if you feel like you are spinning your wheels when you shop and you don't know exactly what to do, you have an execution problem. So again, you could know everything, but unless you know how to execute, it's all useless. So those 4 are the pillars that you need to have in place in order to actually create good style, but not only good style, maximizing efficiency. So let me ask you, how often do you feel like you don't look your best, right? And that you could be looking better, that maybe you're getting a passing grade now, but you know that you could be an A+ student. It's going to come down to one of those 4 pillars. Right. And so we try to put that in place for you. Maybe you just don't know where to get started. It's like this whirlwind of information. You want to look better, but you just don't know how, you don't know where, you don't know how to put it all together. That's the stuff that you need to work on, right? How do you fix that? You got to drill it down to one of these 4 things. Every style problem in the world will boil down to one of those 4 pillars that we just talked about, one of those 4 factors. So as homework, what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking about that. What colors, fits, sizes look best on me? And then how do I execute on all of that? And then when you run into trouble, try to slot it into one of those 4 categories and figure out what the issue is. Because after a decade of doing this, I can tell you specifically that all of your issues are going to boil down to one of those. So, realize this, that every tip and trick and YouTuber, Instagram guru, they're all going to teach you little teeny hacks, little crumbs of style stuff, like how to cuff your pants, how to tuck in your shirt better, right? Stuff like that. How to reduce pit stains. Doesn't produce meaningful long-term results, and it leaves you just as confused. And you have this little Rolodex of tricks, but you never look that good because at a core level, you don't know what looks good on you. You certainly don't know how to implement. So the idea is that you can never put it all together. And if you understand these 4 pillars, you will. That is how you actually look good. So if you've never put thought into this, you need to start doing it. Most of my guys, this was never something they put thought into because they didn't understand that style could be a system. They didn't understand that you could put frameworks into place just like anything else in life, and you can have success. So you're probably spinning your wheels. You're probably wasting time, not shopping efficiently. And worst of all, you're probably looking way less attractive than you probably should be. Because not only is there the efficiency side, like not wasting money and not wasting time is great. Because think about all the time that you probably wasted previously and all the time that you might waste in the future if you don't know this stuff. That's a lot of wasted time and money, where if you knew the right systems, you're good. You get from point A to point B much, much quicker without wasting time. But the worst part about it is you're going to be looking much less attractive than you could be. You're going to be going through life as a C student rather than an A student, and you will have spent time in a subpar place when you could have been maximizing the way that you look. So just to recap this, here's what you need. Okay, so you need to know the right colors for you and how to pair them. You need to understand your body shape and how to dress it with the right sizes, fits, brands, and fabrics. You have to have a cohesive personal style that makes sense for you, that's in alignment with your personality and your life. And you have to master executing all of the above to actually get you the stuff that looks good. It's a table, man, right? So it supports all of this: color, fit, style, execution. Everything needs to be supported, because if you have one without the other, you're going to be looking subpar. And this creates a system that you can use again and again. Guys are using these for the rest of their life to put together incredible outfits, to build a wardrobe that you actually like being in, right? And stuff where it pairs together. Like I said, before, it puts things on easy mode. One of my favorite things that clients say is it's like seeing the Matrix. And I've stolen that and I use it a lot now because I really liked it, because a couple guys had said that. It's seeing the Matrix in the sense of you understand what's going right, what's going wrong. You understand how people are putting together outfits. You understand where to shop. It's like seeing something that 99% of guys can't see, and they're just frustrated all the time, spinning their wheels, and they never look good. And they'll say things like, oh, style doesn't matter, but you know that it does, right? You know that it does, because that's why you're here right now. Most guys won't admit it, but if I could give them a pill and say, swallow this and you're going to actually look good, you're going to improve your style, they would take it 100%. So if you want help with this, if you want help on both the execution, but also understanding what works well for you, we can help with that, right? So I can help you with the education front of what looks best on you and why. So you can understand the color, the fit, the size, the color, fit, and the style and the execution side of things. So you understand this stuff. So it's like a personal masterclass on your own style. Imagine somebody looking at you and saying, here's all the information. So instead of the 80 hours that you'd spend watching YouTube videos, here it is. Here's all the stuff that you need to know for your style, right? Until it gets you looking your best, taking you from a C student to an A student. But not only that, but also sourcing you the products, sourcing you the clothing, getting you the best products that are in the right colors, fits, style, and also within your budget that work for your life. Right? So personalizing a shopping list and saying, hey, listen, these are the items that we need to add in based on what we're seeing. So not only handling all of the knowledge stuff, but then also the execution. So it's kind of like, it's like teaching a man to fish, but then also catching his fish for him, right? So the idea is basically you're getting the execution with this, but you're also getting the knowledge so that you know how to repeat the process for the rest of your life, and you understand this at a core level, because that's important to me, is that guys understand this. Now, this even includes grooming stuff too as well. So understanding your face shape and what hairstyles look best on you, skincare routine, right, based on your unique skin, because looking good is a head to toe thing. You know, you can handle the style, but without, cleaning up the grooming, you're never going to be quite there. So we even work with clients on that. So the goal, the mission, is to break down all of this into a process for you, to install that pillar framework for you so that you understand exactly what to do to maximize your appearance, and you have the quickest route to do it. So you understand what works, but then you also have all the products sourced for you so that you can maximize your appearance like that. That's really the goal. So if you're ready to finally look your best and you're tired of the runaround and tired of trying to source style knowledge from people that don't care about you, that people that, are just trying to, recommend products that they got paid to recommend, subscription boxes, things like that. If you're tired of running around stores and not knowing what to get, if you're tired of wasting money, but if you're just also tired of not looking your best, if you're tired of being that C student when you know you could be the A student, that's the stuff that I want to work with you on. All right, that's the stuff that I want to give you advice on personally. So what I want you to do is I want you to click the link around this page to schedule a call with me personally, and we'll walk through your goals. We'll talk about where you're at. We'll kind of diagnose where your style is at currently, and then ways that you can enhance it. So you'll get some quick wins there, but we're also going to discuss ways that you can improve things. So kind of a deeper understanding of where you're at, and then we'll see if I can help you, right? And if I can't, we'll come away with some action steps, and you'll have some stuff in the future that you can work on. But if I can help you, then you'll be able to execute much quicker, right? So it's 20 minutes. It takes 20 minutes on a call with me, and so apply for that call. And if you're accepted, it's a quick 20-minute call. It's 20 minutes, right? And the idea here is that I'm going to try to make this accessible for you. That's my goal, is to make style accessible for as many guys as possible, so that they're done wasting time and money, and then also they can realize their full potential. So they can understand, like, yes, I can look much better. And the magic part about this is you can look better in a really short amount of time, because clothing is not like handling your finances or going to the gym, which are also very important. But style is putting clothes on your body. If you know exactly what to do, you can get a really good result. Your ROI can skyrocket, because the time that you put in can be very small, and you can get a big return on that, because it doesn't take years. All right? It doesn't take years. It just takes the right knowledge and the right framework. And that's something that we're really passionate about working with guys on. So anyway, click on the link below and schedule yourself a call, right? Apply for that call there, and I'll see if I can help you and get you going in the right direction. It'd be my pleasure to do so. So definitely click that link. It takes 20 minutes to potentially change the trajectory of the way that you look for the rest of your life. So easy to do. Click that link, schedule that call, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks. Appreciate you. Take care.